If you're looking to sell or for fast and reliable Madden coins, check out my sponsor at 5mmo.com and use code Randy7 for 5% off at checkout.
He went from Denver to Philly. And he's like, nah, man, I'm Philly right now. Okay, well, all right, let's do it. Fly, Eagles, fly. We're about ready to set and kick it off. And get ready to go between Joe Rice and Drini. Got some playbooks for me, my man?
Oh, you know it. Drini got one of the most popular playbooks in the draft, because remember, what the coach you draft dictates the playbooks you get. So in MUT draft, these guys aren't playing with the playbooks that they're comfortable with. It's all random in that draft. Drini got one of the most sought-after playbooks when he drafted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach and got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playbooks. And then Joe Rice got the New Orleans Saints coach, so he has the New Orleans Saints playbooks. And I think the funny thing about that is Drini's preferred playbook is the Saints playbook, and Joe Rice's preferred playbook is the Buccaneers playbook. So that's the way MUT draft works. Neither one of these guys, get their own playbook, but instead they got to play against their preferred playbook.
Yeah, you can think about the MCS as, for those out there that watch tennis, we put you through sort of the gauntlet, all the different modes. If you think about grass courts, clay courts, that's really what you got when you talk about MUT draft, salary cap, classic mode, when you talk about regs. So we're trying to find out who's the best at Madden overall.
Yep, that is a great way to compare it to tennis, Scott, and the different courts that they play on. And like we said, this is MUT draft, so when you see Todd Gurley and T.Y. Hilton and Julio Jones in Eagles uniforms, it's because he's not playing with the Eagles. He's playing with the team that he drafted in that mode and assembled.
So 2nd and 10 at the 40. I think he'd love to be in those Cowboys uniforms, but something about white on white jerseys, it just doesn't work for me. Carr, looking, firing. And there's Gurley.
Yeah, here comes Drini Joker, Scott, and see Joe Rice, his 38 major appearance, made the Classic in 17 and Club Championship this year, and here he goes. But you got Drini, and you got to remember, this is the defending Madden Challenge champion. He's trying to pull a Skimbo and defend his belt, get his 2nd belt this year.
Oh, but he got a ball! And it's on the ground, and it'll be picked up by Joe Rice, rocking that 818.
And Joe Rice says, I know you trying to defend your belt. I don't care if you're bandanaed up. I'm going to punch you in the mouth, take the momentum early, and now Drini has some adversity to fight through.
Let's take a look at it again.
I don't care about your good draft. Boom! What a hit, and that's a user hit stick fumble. That's Joe Rice taking control of the defender, using the hit stick mechanic, and making a play himself.
So now Joe Rice will set his audibles. If you haven't played Madden in a minute, this is something new they added in the last couple of years where you can do audibles on the fly.
And this mechanic is so important, Scott. If you want to play Madden at a high level, what Audibles on the Fly lets you do is while you're at the play call screen, you could literally dictate what plays you want to bring with you to the line of scrimmage. So if you see something in the defense and you want to check down to the play that you know beats that defense, you can ensure you have that play with you at the line of scrimmage. If you don't know how to use that mechanic, you better get online, look it up, because it's essential to being able to play Madden at a high level.
Cohen runs ahead for 5. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
For the audible, Scott, the best way I can compare it is like a Peyton Manning style of play, where Peyton Manning would get to the line of scrimmage, look at the defense, and get himself in the best play for that situation. And Audibles on the Fly allows you to do just that.
Quick throw by Allen to the outside. There's Bernard. He'll pull it in. Drini's made 6 consecutive events in a row.
Yeah.
As RG mentioned, trying to defend that belt.
I mean, Drini is so ridiculous. last year was his first year he was eligible to compete. He won the Madden Challenge. He made the finals of the Ultimate League. He won his club championship that he participated in. I mean, this young man's credentials are just insane. He has just been so consistent and is quickly climbing himself up to be a top 10, top 5 player of all time in such a short period of time. It's remarkable.
And maybe the best way to say it is he's never missed a live event since he's been eligible. And here is Bernard. Gets free for a moment. Gio! All the way down to the 3.
Yeah, and to not miss a live event, Scott, that's ridiculous, man. These are not easy to qualify for.
Well, the age is 16 now. If it would have been 16 back then, he might have 3 or 4 belts.
Absolutely.
And look at Gio, former Tar Heel, getting down to the 3.
And Joe Rice, we're over here paying all this homage to Drini, and Joe Rice doesn't seem to care.
He's like, keep talking.
Yeah, keep talking as I walk down this field and go in and try to get myself 6.
Josh Allen. He's a youngster, but he's really good here in Mutt Draft, and he'll punch it in for the first score of the day. We'll go to Joe Rice.
And that Josh Allen, Scott, I believe that's a 94 overall Team of the Week item that you can get in that draft. And he has 86 speed and 90, I think, 5 throw power, 96 throw power. So he has a cannon in the speed. That's exactly the type of quarterback these players are looking for. When you ask them who are your top 2 quarterbacks you would want in the draft, it was either Josh Allen or Derek Carr for a lot of the guys that like to scramble. And coincidentally enough, Drini has Derek Carr and Joe Rice has the Josh Allen. So we're seeing the 2 best mobile quarterbacks based off the competitor feedback.
Let us know, Chad, if you had Allen or Carr pop up in the draft round, would you go 1 for Allen, 2 for Carr?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question, Scott.
I'm going Allen.
Yeah, I might go Carr. Carr's got the accuracy stats and the power. He's just a little slower.
2nd and 2.
We might need once everyone clears out of the studio, Scott, you get Joe Rice's team, I get Drini's.
I'm okay with that.
We'll cast a showdown.
I actually need that. I'm not just okay with that, I need that. 1st and 10. Drini trying to bounce back after he fumbled on his opening drive that led to points for Joe Rice.
See Joe Rice, he's in this nickel normal formation. He's doing a little weird stuff. He's got both his linebackers stacked over each other right there. Look at them. They're just hovering right over each other. What type of weirdness is this? It looks like he's controlling. I don't know who that is he's controlling.
Ronnie Lott,
Ronnie
I think.
Lott,
Yeah.
That's the user.
What a dive. And he can't hang on.
And that's why you got to user control Ronnie Lott. That was a catch. And then Joe Rice took his user controlled Ronnie Lott, ran over to that play, knocked the ball out. A lot of high level defensive user plays we're seeing from Joe Rice early on. Look at I'm getting a kick out of them. Just those 2 linebackers stacked right over each other.
What a move by T.Y. Hilton. Should have got to the numbers. He'll step out of the 44.
Bad strip attempt right there from Rice. He trying to hit that RB button way too early. Lott almost fell on his face.
So 1st and 10. Opening ball games here in Group C. You can catch Goes and Electrify over on mixer.com/Madden. We got Joe Rice and Drini right here. Drini trying to defend his Madden Challenge belt that he won last year. An event that's been going on, I think this is 17 years or so since the first Madden Challenge came onto the scene. And Gurley.
You know, Scott, I'm watching a few plays ago we had Joe Rice's perspective on defense. And it was a great example of Joe Rice is sitting in this cover 2 shell out here, but he is adjusting his defense with those individual adjustments. He's turning it into a custom cover 6, a custom cover 3. He's making a lot of adjustments out of this defense right now.
Go to the corner, and Dalvin Cook can't hang on.
Problem said it. Dalvin Cook's going to have the speed. A lot of guys like to get him at receiver in this draft mode.
And the crazy thing is he had 1st down. I don't want to be that guy in chat, but I'll be it. Hey, it was open.
It was wide open. The little hitch route underneath was wide open, and he thought Cook had a step on him. But as I was saying, you know, Cook might get the step on him, but when it comes down to coming down with that ball in traffic, you know, it's going to be rare. Look at this.
There's McCaffrey, a little stop and go. Let's check in with Rico in the Players Lounge for a game break.
VY Electrify got the ball early, marched down, and was able to punch it in to take a 7-0 lead over Ghosts.
All right, thanks, Rico. Man, those Titans unis looking tough. All Navy.
I'm telling you, VY is going to be a tough out in this event. Now, none of the players in this group, when you interviewed them, seemed too thrilled to be playing VY Electrify. And I got some of his ladder stats that are some of the most impressive I've ever seen. We can go over that later.
Boy, Cohen almost one cut. This is a new feature this year in Madden. See, he plants this foot, just couldn't get it going back upfield. He could have been gone.
When I watch these guys run, we saw JS yesterday. We're seeing good stick work here. You saw D-Craft post his little highlight video on Twitter. These guys make me feel so insecure and terrible about my stick work because the way that they get it done with the ball carrier and the cuts that they make and their ability to consistently hit the right hole, very impressive.
High point to Ingram, still on his feet. All the way down to the 41. He's 4 for 4 with Allen.
And you'll hear us talk about that high point pass, Scott. If you want to throw a pass with some extra arc on it and make your receiver catch it at the highest point, you hold that LB button when you throw it to the receiver, and that's going to give you a high point style pass. The benefit is that they catch it at the highest point. The risk is you're going to have a great chance for an accurate pass like we saw just there. And those inaccurate passes, Scott, can often lead to key interceptions.
Can I change my answer back to Carr?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
That was pretty
I told
rough.
you Carr has the accuracy.
That was pretty rough right there. 2nd and 10.
But that's that high point pass, Scott. No matter what quarterback you have, they're going to have an increased inaccuracy chance if they go to that high ball mechanic.
2nd and 10.
Oh, that's a dot.
All the way open. That's going to be
his foot
incomplete. Yeah.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Couldn't drag his foot there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. You see Safa Jones hanging out with the rest of the crew. He said he's coming for our job. That's what he said in the pregame. He says after he's done, he's coming to take it. I'll admit, his beard is way better than my beard.
I messed with some Safa, man. The emotion and passion that he played with in the Ultimate League last year is something I'll never forget. And I'll tell you one thing, man. You go with Safa to the buffet. We hit one of the, I think it was the Aria buffet in Vegas. Yeah, he was putting it down, dog. He don't look like he can. Safa can eat with the best of them.
All right, now look at 56.
4th and 10 now from the 41 after a few drop balls.
This is big. This is huge right here for Rice.
Detroit!
He needs to get to the 31. He's going to go up top to Julio! And this time he holds on. Touchdown, Rice.
Oh, Wesley Gittins is playing high-level, good John Madden football all season long. His patience in the pocket right there, Scott, nothing was open. He stayed patient. He stepped up, looked for Julio, that waited for him to get the step. That was perfectly executed right there by Joe Rice. And if you're going to dial up a play like that, why not dial it up to your best player on offense? Look at this, Scott. Look at the patience. Oh, man.
Pass
Beautiful.
leads to the outside. That's the key fundamental right there.
That is a good call out right there, Scott. Pass leading and making sure you use that left stick to aim the pass exactly where you want to go, usually away from the defender. It's essential when playing high-level Madden.
And the playmaker out to the 33. Didn't see a lot of playmaker yesterday.
Remember, we saw more of it in salary cap because there's no playmaker ability in this mode. So though you can playmaker, the mechanic is going to be less effective because it's not going to be as responsive in the direction that they go after the playmaker's a little more random. Oh, gee.
Almost picked off.
He clicked onto that, too. Joe Rice's stick work, besides that one missed strip, has been phenomenal this game.
Well, Drini had the best draft, arguably.
Hey, 734.
But through this first
Doesn't matter.
6 minutes and change. He's been the mayor of Struggleville.
Hey, 7:34. Go.
Second and 10. Carr, quick throw. Oh my. It's going to be interesting to see what this call is.
Oh, that's a pick.
Pass interference. If this was Saints versus Rams, they might have let that one go.
But you don't see a lot of that. They'll put it out to the 39.
Get set.
How about Joe Rice with the aggressive hit stick, though? That's not an easy thing to do, even though it was PI. He clicked on and rocked that receiver. There's Dalvin.
There it is, Cook, and he won't hang on.
He caught it. He fumbled out of bounds, though.
Oh, wow. Let's take a look at it again. Did I Ridley that? 1, 2.
That was a tough one. It could have been incomplete. It was questionable either way, but it could have went either way.
It's a completion at the 27. I'm still waking up.
Tomato.
Carr finds Julio, and he'll get to the 21. You see Carey still cooling. Look, over there on the right side, that was him yesterday chilling. Left side is he's alert. He's ready to go. He plays today.
This was laser focus, Carey, and now he's a little more giddy today in the players' lounge.
You play today, so you got your game face on.
They didn't let me line up the laser the way I wanted to. I needed just an extra second. I'm trying to get my stick work up on the telly stuff.
2nd and 4.
Come on, pick it, please.
And it's picked off. He asked for it. You will receive. And Johnson with the INT will push it out to the 20 with a touchback. It's a turnover. Second of the game for Drini.
Ew. Look at Joe Rice, Scott. I mean, he is playing good ball. He is as soon as that ball's in the air, he is clicking on. He is attacking the point of the catch. And then on runs, he's just lighting up the ball carrier with hit sticks.
I had to make sure Drini had his bandana on. This is a unbandana-like throw here into double coverage.
Look how fast he clicked onto that defense. As soon as the ball was thrown, Joe Rice was switched onto that cornerback, moving him into position to get that interception. When we talk about user skills and clicking on, that's what we're talking about right there. Textbook from Joe Rice.
Quick throw. Tariq. Pick up the first down at the 30. Oh, they're going to be 3rd and inches. Just shy. Had the ball in his left hand as he went down toward the yard to gain.
Lucky for him, he's got big Josh Allen. If he can't get you an inch with a sneak, I don't know who can.
These guys are playing on the previous title update that came out, I guess, 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Just for those that are asking out there in the chat, we got 3rd and let's just call it an inch. I mean, it's right there on the line. That's a give me. And that will move the chains. And right now, Drini's in trouble.
You know, in old school Madden challenge days, Scott, with the QB sneak, Vic was so effective with it. They implemented rules where you weren't allowed the QB sneak unless it was an inches situation or 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. Besides that, QB sneak wasn't even allowed back in the day.
I think Rico was a big part of that.
Rico in his admin days, imagine that.
2nd and 10 now. Look at this again.
Almost picked off right there, Drini. That's what he needed. You see that reaction. He knows that's the type of play he needs to get back in this game. And I'll tell you what, if there's a player you don't want to count out, it's Drini Joker. We were just telling you how impressive his resume is and how consistent he's been. He's going to fight in this matchup till the very end.
Buying time. Throwing across his body, Ingram. And he will hang on at the 31.
How about Josh Allen showing off some of that throw power right there, Scott? Across his body, look at this. He rolls out left, waits for the tight end to get open mode, sets his feet, and just let it rip. He didn't even have to wind up to throw that. The throw power really helping out Joe Rice right there.
Just over a minute to go here in the half. He's already up by 11, looking to add to it. The handoff to Cohen. Cohen has a block on the outside. That's going to be close to the first down. Here comes a timeout from Drini. It will be 1st and 10, just outside the red zone.
Detroit!
Good job so far of Joe Rice mixing up his play calling, a little bit of run, a little bit of pass, and then playing to his strengths, getting the ball to Julio and Ingram, scrambling around with Josh Allen, using his throw power, using his speed. Joe Rice is using all the tools he got in the draft very well right now, Scott.
Drini with another timeout that'll stop the clock with 49 seconds to go in the half. Needs 7 here on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
At the 18, play clock running down. Allen rolling, and he'll just throw it away. Nice awareness there by Joe Rice.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. You need to be able to protect your quarterback and then throw the ball away if nothing's there. The way you throw the ball away is you click in the right stick. And a lot of beginner users don't even care about that mechanic because they're like, why would I ever throw the ball away? But it is pivotal to do that if you're going to play Madden or football at a high level. If it's not there, you got to get rid of it and live to fight another down.
Allen to the back of the end zone, and Gio for 6. And it's all Joe Rice here in the first half. And Drini's face says it all.
I think the kids nowadays, Scott, call that a laser. He rifled that in there.
In the Twitch chat, that's a fail fish. Got a little face palm.
The Drini reaction.
Shout out to my man Spamfish, who's a huge Chicago Bears fan, even though he lives in the United Kingdom. One of the original emotes on Twitch.
Look at that laser, Scott. Right, look at Joe Rice swagging around. Get it, Wes.
Later one.
Well, it's a good reminder that it's just group play. It's just the first game here of Group C.
7:34.
Drini's going to have to bounce back if the score remains the same. Even if he can get something here, he needs just some positivity. He's been turning it over, but the problem is you drop this game, you got Goes coming up next. Goes and Drini is the next ball game.
Oh, this group, you got 2 belt winners in the group. It's going to be ridiculous. And then you got VY, who's got the most impressive leaderboard stats, and then Joe Rice, who's been one of the hottest players on the circuit.
Checks it down to Gurley. He'll get out of bounds at the 43.
And you got to remember, Scott, in groups, the fact that the #1 seed gets a bye, getting that bye guarantees you an additional $2,500. You're guaranteed $10,000 in this event once you are the 1 seed in a group and get out. So getting these wins early on, it's not just about getting out of the group, but fighting for that 1 seed is something we haven't talked about a lot, but it's pivotal to making money and having success in this tournament.
Still has that 1 timeout. TY at the 31.
I can't stress it enough, Scott. The quickness that Joe Rice is clicking on and trying to get into position with these defenders, it's very admirable. It's got an old school Madden type of feel. And user control play is usually what can separate great players from good players.
And
look at him.
Julio catches it in bounds. He will use that timeout. Speaking of cool things that you can win, you in the chat can win Twitch drops by linking your Twitch account to earn Madden Twitch drops throughout the show. We got tons of moderators in the chat that will be more than willing to help you get set up. Car to Cook!
Oh, that was nasty.
Touchdown Drini when he needed it the most. This game's not over.
Oh, he dialed that up so grossly. He had Joe Rice's user defender not knowing where to go. He had a flood concept to the right. Joe Rice runs over there, leaves the middle of the field open. The post from the backside, beautiful read from Drini. That was a high-level goal line play right there. I always wondered how these elite players score on the goal line, and that was a great example in the red zone of how to get it done. That was beautiful, with no time left in the half either. I mean,
he almost had to have it.
What a big play.
With Joe Rice getting the ball to start the second half. Cohen wrapped up there by Urban, and that'll take us to the half. Your score, Joe Rice 21, Drini 10. Able to answer back with a late touch into this. Joe Rice has been in control, and he'll get it to start half number 2.
This is going to be a big drive to open up this second half, Scott. This is going to dictate if this is going to be a 2-possession ball game where Drini gets the ball back or a 3-possession ball game. And if you're Drini, you'd much rather it be the 2-possession ball game. Coming back from 3 possessions against elite players like Joe Rice is just so difficult. It's not impossible, but it's just not likely. It's going to be a huge defensive sequence for Drini, and if you're Joe Rice, you have a chance to really run away with this one.
By the way, I love the kicks cam, a little behind the players, get to see if they got any feet heat on.
Hey, remember, Scott, we're in the new studio. They're going to be swagging around, getting us all kinds of new angles.
Colin. Drini's really trying to make something happen here. Every hit that comes in is a big one.
Here we go, 3rd and 4. These are big 2 downs coming up for Drini. And remember, this is likely 2-down territory for Rice. They only play 5-minute quarters in competitive Madden, so the frequency at which they go for it on 4th down is like nothing you see in the NFL. These guys are so much aggressive, and that is a big mistake by Drini on aggressive pass rush on 3rd and 4.
He's just trying to get some sort of pressure, so that'll be a first down. I was about to say, he needs to bring some.
God, no, that is such a mental mistake right there by Drini. Not the time to be on aggressive, not only because of the chance at the false start, but if he runs the ball right there, your defense isn't going to be as good either.
Ingram just making it happen. It's Josh Allen is now 10 of 15.
It's the
for
little
183.
Oh, right there. And what you do if you're at home and you don't know how to...
He said, I'm stupid.
He knows it was his fault. There's no excuse. And if you want to try to draw those defenders off sides, if you think your opponent's in that aggressive pass rush, you simply press the RB button at the line of scrimmage when you're on offense, and that's going to allow the quarterback to fake hike. And with that fake hike, it's going to give a chance for that defender to jump off sides. But you got to be careful because your offensive line also has a chance to false start. Little risk-reward mechanic.
2nd and 13 now after the tackle for loss by the former Gamecock, Stephen Gilmore. That hurt to say.
And you know what, Scott? It's funny to me how many Madden players you see that just forget to fake snap. I've seen some decent Madden players that just don't use that fake snap, and they make their lives so much harder because their opponent's just constantly in that aggressive pass rush on those passing downs. Big dot right there by Rice.
You just got to say to yourself, well, I mean, that came in a little quicker than I was used to the pass rush.
Yeah.
Next time I get to the line, I got to do something. Especially when you're in a 3rd and 4 situation. That's something you really got to do. 1st and 10. It's easy to get caught in the moment. We all been there. Colin.
I mean, we saw that in the club championship with, what was it, Turbo Jeff. Turbo Jeff.
Just got dialed up by
Pavin.
That was Pavin.
Just sat on aggressive pass rush the entire game, and we didn't see one fake snap from Jeff.
And there's a sack, trying to throw it away, but Evans gets in there, and that's just what Drini needed.
And now's the time, if you're Drini, Scott, to go to that aggressive pass rush, because if you false start, it's still 3rd and 18. And this is when teams in real life would go to aggressive pass rush. When you know the other team is definitely going to pass, that's when the linemen just get down and get after it.
Nice job with the user, but it goes back to McCaffrey, and he can't hang on. Quickly becoming one of my favorite players in the league, Christian McCaffrey, but can't keep his mitts on it in triple coverage.
Oh my goodness! And it was triple coverage, but he almost got the step on him, but just not enough space. And oh no, Rice is going for this momentum play. If you're Drini,
sort of in no man's land. Here's the sack.
There's bandana Drini. And a sleeping giant might be waking up right now. Complexity Gaming's very own Drini Joka has a chance to get himself all the way back in this ball game now.
There's a reason when you buy Rice, it either comes in a box or a bag.
That was like 4 spins in 2 seconds. And when you got the 97 overall Todd Gurley, he's going to be able to get icky like that. For the Scream team.
Not even a block shed, just coming loose on the edge. That was Irvin. And now he's in positive territory here. He'll roll out with Carr. He'll throw it to the corner. That ran out of real estate.
Did you notice again, Rice clicking on and getting himself in position to try to swat, even though it was out of bounds? I just want to remind the viewers to really take a look at that. Oh my goodness.
2nd and 10. Even a field goal here makes it a one-possession game. You got to put that feather in your cap. Carr. Easy throw to Gurley. Makes a man miss. 1st down and more. He's inside the 10.
And they're literally just holding right trigger and pressing the B button while aiming the left stick in the direction they want to go when they're pulling off those high-level spin moves right there. It's the speed spin.
Eckler still on his feet, and his knee will go down at the 3. We might be looking at that moment that Joe Rice swagged out after that laser beam to Bernard as a trigger moment, so to speak, for Drini, because he's come out on fire since that play happened at the end of the half.
You know what, too, Scott? And if there's a player you don't want to trigger and give that extra motivation to, it's young Drini, Joker. He's already tough enough on the sticks.
He knows he needs this touchdown.
He's also a very motivated young man, too, Scott. He puts a lot into this.
See if he goes to the outside. Gets a block. Eckler to the edge, and Drini. Do you go for 2 here? I think you gotta.
I think he's going for it. He's going to chase the points, try to make this a 3-point ball game. And you heard Problem yesterday. What dictates if you go for 2 here is, are you comfortable with the 2-point conversion play that you have? So you got to assume Drini has something that he likes here out of this gun tight. There's a double drag with 2 curls.
Carr has time, has a man, T.Y.
Come on.
And you know what? If you're going to throw it into traffic, when it's all condensed down there into the goal line to that 94 overall T.Y. Hilton, your 2nd best receiver on the team besides Julio, that's not a bad option. If that was one of those running backs, that ball's probably coming out right there, Scott. Way to utilize your personnel if you're Drini.
We got to look at it from the defensive perspective here of Drini.
Yeah.
He needs a stop here with 23 seconds to go in the quarter.
And look at that defensive play art when you saw that right there. He is turning this into a custom defense and making all kinds of individual adjustments. So when you see a 2-shell or a 3-shell, when you're playing against players at this level, it doesn't really mean that's what it is. And a lot of NFL teams do that. We bring in DB coaches to the Tiburon studio all the time, and they said disguising coverages is a pivotal part, especially when you're playing those veteran quarterbacks. And players of this caliber, they're equivalent to veteran quarterbacks.
Well, put your 4s in the chat, folks. We got 5 minutes left in this one. Drini has come all the way back to make it a 3-point game. He'll hand off to Cohen, who'll pick up the 1st down at the 37.
Big drive right here for Joe Rice.
Back in the perspective here of Joe on the offensive side of the ball.
Got the Houston Texans, defending club champion, going up against the Dallas Cowboys, defending club champion and Drini.
And Allen has nowhere to go. And Conley comes from the bleachers to make the sack.
You just knew it. Most players, they fall behind in the situation Drini got himself into, Scott, and they're usually just out the game. But we knew Drini wasn't going to go out without a fight. He is just too good to lay down.
Make sure you keep it locked to us on Twitter at Madden League Ops, Twitter handle, for all the live tournament coverage, content, news, updates, and more. This guy's doing a great job. All kind of highlights, little nuggets, little Donnie nuggets in there.
I can't stress how important it is to follow the Madden League Ops account, Scott. And if you don't have Twitter, just checking out. Nice play.
Julio.
The second part of that, Scott, is just checking out MaddenChampionship.com, because that's where you're going to find all the information. I get messages and hit up so often about how do I get involved in these tournaments. So I'll go back and watch the chat and I'll see guys, how do I get into this? I could beat all these guys. You know, go to the website, follow the Twitter account. All the information is there, and now it's just on you to go through the process and make it here so me and Scott can call you games and you can test yourself against the best in the world.
Well, you know, RG, if you and I weren't calling games, we'd be winning belts, right? This game's easy, right?
I had my chance in the old Madden Challenge days. Furthest I got was Final 8, but that was back when it was a 32-man field.
Yeah, that controller on ColecoVision was different back then.
You're just mean.
I think that's the same controller you played Galaga with.
Oh, gee.
Detroit!
It was like 360. It wasn't that bad long ago. Don't get me
Second
going.
and 3. Cohen pick up the first down. That gives us an opportunity. Let's head over to Rico with a game break.
Ghost said he made some halftime adjustments and they seem to be paying off as he punched it in right there to take the lead. He's locked in. Back
That's
to
your
you
entire
guys.
offense. Stop it.
All right, Goes doing Goes things.
And Scott, I'll tell you, when we're lollygagging around out here having a good time, Joe Rice has quietly been putting together a drive that could seal this game away. I mean, Drini's calling timeouts. And if Joe Rice scores a touchdown, it's probably over. This is huge. We are in crunch time right now. This can be considered a guap drive for Rice.
Yeah, touchdown would seal it. Bend don't break kind of moment here for Drini on 2nd and 7. Allen
Sends everyone.
trying to find who's open. Allen's going to try to scramble.
Oh! It was the right decision, Scott, not to force the pass in there and try to scramble with Allen, but you have to protect them and slide. Joe Rice fortunate it wasn't a fumble. Huge play here, Scott. Biggest one of the game so far.
Needs to get to the 21.
This is it. What do you got?
Allen, here comes the blitz. Picks it up, the wheel. And Cohen
down!
fumble.
Cohen's got it!
Drini can't believe it.
Oh my God, don't fumble my ball.
Look at Joe. Look at them up there on the stage. The intensity, the nerves. Look at this. Drini runs over there, puts the user strip on him, but no one can jump on it. Cohen with the awareness.
And here comes the 2-minute warning. The good news is he can't pick up another first down, so it's 1st and goal from the 6. But you got to hold the door.
And remember here, Scott, usually in a real football game, it's a 40-second play clock, but this is a 30-second play clock as you see it winding down right there. So he's not going to be able to milk this entire 2 minutes off the clock. The game's not completely over.
Gio takes it to the 3.
One of the key differences in competitive Madden in real life, that 40-second play clock compared to a 30-second play clock, it changes strategy tenfold in a lot of situations, and this is one of them.
Goal line formation again. He's going to let this clock run all the way down. Drini found himself down 21-3. He's battled back, but he needs a stop. Go to the fullback again.
Oh, boom!
Gets blown up like a man smoking at a gas station. Here comes 3rd and goal.
And that's how prepared these players are, Scott. He has a defense for this specific situation where he can run through that gap and blow up the fullback dive with a hit stick. That's world-class preparation.
And he goes to McCaffrey. GG.
Smart right there of Rice. You see Drini has defense for the inside stuff. You get hit sticked, you switch it up to the toss. And like you said, Scott, that's most likely GG. Bearing a miracle here from Drini.
Gonna need a score and an onside kick with 53 ticks and 0 timeouts.
Hats off to Drini for fighting as hard as he did, but how about Joe Rice just looking phenomenal on the sticks, making tons of plays, and then fighting through some adversity of his own and coming through in the clutch when he needs it. Props to Wesley Gittins. Very impressive performance in this game. Looked like he's going to come away with the W.
Drini had some opportunities. He turned it over twice in the first half. Rolling, looking, going deep, and overthrows T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. looked like he had a step on him, too.
That's what he needed. He needs something real quick.
Just right outside of his catch radius right there.
And this is where we come to that strategy again. If you get in field goal range, you kick it through.
Yes, it's a good call, Scott. That's a veteran move right there. Most players, what they'll do is just try to get into field goal range, kick the field goal immediately, save the clock, and then just see what's at stake with the onside kick to him. Yeah, wide open.
Cover 3. He wanted to throw that corner route to Gurley. Oh, so bad.
Eckler got wide open on the streak out of the backfield for a little bit, but Drini was already rolling out to his right.
Carr. Playmakers just got to go in the middle of the field. Now you got to hurry up. You're at the 40. Clock on the move. 31 seconds now.
Low. 6:18.
Don't have time for all this. Carr.
What a
and that will do it.
And that's Rice again. He's not only clicking on in the secondary, Scott, he's clicking on to his defensive lineman and getting user sacks as well. Very impressive game plan and stick work from Joe Rice. You have to give him credit where credit is due. Look at him clicking on one more time.
And point differential will be 10. It's 28-18. Drini got down early on some turnover.